G'day guys, welcome back to another edition of the Lower Grade Letdowns. I'm joined, as always, by Sexy Das.
Hello, Sexy Josh.
How are you?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Sounding a little bit worse for wear, but we'll probably save that.
Save it for Friday, but I'm feeling fantastic.
Looking fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Trying
my hardest.
How good is it to be back at the Caxton?
Mate, it's great. Spent a lot of time here in the last week.
Where else would you rather be?
Nowhere, to be honest.
Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere.
Certainly not home, because this is home.
Home away from home.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got the bed set up here now, so we can just, this really can be home.
Go for a little snooze. Not an ad.
Not an ad.
Shout out to the sleeping place.
Captain Snooze.
Yeah.
Big week of footy.
It was, mate. There was a lot on, but there wasn't a lot on.
No, it kind of sucks. That's the worst thing about this time of year, right? Like, finals footy, spring racing's back, which is awesome, but also there's no Thursday night footy, which just sucks.
No, it is pretty shit. And there's no Sunday footy now as well.
Yeah, it sucked. Fuck, what are we going to do? That's the only shit thing about cricket. It's good it's 5 days in a row. Yeah. But then there's like 5 days for nothing.
Yeah, shout out to the Big Bash for coming through. But also at the same time,
fuck that up this year. That was horrible last year.
Big Bash was actually a very, very subpar competition last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
We are getting ahead of ourselves.
We're not really, but
it's nearly time. It's nearly time for cricket.
It is.
Until then, though, we've had the semi-finals of the NRL on the weekend, Josh.
We have. Now, I'll be very upfront. Did not see anything.
Yep.
I didn't see anything.
Because you were blind the whole weekend.
Because I was blind the entire
Not because you
weekend.
weren't watching the TV, just because you were blind.
No, because I had big things to do, and big things were done. But
we'll cover that off later.
What I can say is I'm sort of disappointed with the results of the weekend. Not because of who's won in particular, but blowouts.
Yeah.
In finals, elimination finals, when your season's on the line like this, I did not expect these scorelines at all.
Is that your boots on the table that's making that noise? Oh, it's your medal.
Could be.
Yeah, it's your medal around your neck.
Yeah,
it's really annoying.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry,
winners win.
Winners win. What can we do? Yeah, mate, I know what you mean.
Yeah. But I'm glad to see the Raiders lose, even though it is to Parramatta, so that everyone in Canberra can continue to
shut the fuck up.
Just shut the fuck up. And then also live with the fact that you're from Canberra and that you live in Canberra.
Would you rather get knocked out in the first week of finals or get knocked out in the second week of finals and live in Canberra?
Oh, I'd definitely rather
not
get
make
knocked
the
out in
eight.
the first week.
What about not make the 8?
Oh, well, not make the 8 because then at least I can have fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, true.
You know, like,
shout out to all our ACT Canberra listeners.
If I don't, yeah, exactly. Shout out to all of you. First of all, apologies. I'm sorry that you have to deal with either living in Canberra, being from Canberra, or supporting Canberra because, like, I don't know how you can support such a quiet, old, sleepy place.
Yeah.
Not much goes on there.
Not much at all.
Except debauchery.
And Viking claps.
Get some originality. But go the Brumbies. I don't mind the Brumbies.
Yeah, we don't mind the Brumbies.
But they're more so
ACT, would you?
They're ACT, which is a slightly wider region, not just Canberra. So they get away with it. Yeah, exactly. It's territory. And footy is a game of territory, isn't it?
We know that, yeah.
It is. Which Canberra didn't play on the weekend, evidently from there.
Maybe they should be the ACT Raiders and they'd go a bit better.
They could.
They'd learn how to play territory better.
But anyway, they lost 40-4. It just looked like an absolute fucking
pretender bowl.
Yeah. Also, shout out to a few frothy people with the tipping. Dad is now outright third, and I don't think he can go any higher or lower.
Who's first and second?
Ollie Smith is tied first with someone, I believe, or he is second. He was telling me about it on Saturday. But I think he fucked up a game or something, so he might be one game behind. But I don't know. There's a lot happening in the frothies tipping.
We'll check in next week, maybe. There's still a couple of rounds to go. So
a couple of rounds to go, but there is movement at the top, and there is. Basically get your tips in, and it's not
Now, I didn't watch this game either, if I'm completely honest. People are saying that Mitch Moses was playing unbelievable footy with Dylan Brown, but as I said, I didn't see the game, so I can't really comment, but I will comment, and I don't like the Eels, and I think they're pretenders.
Yeah. I did hear something about Mitch Moses.
What did you hear?
Apparently there's a clause in his contract that they win the final.
No, if he makes the GF. Doesn't have to win it. Yeah. Gets a $100K bonus. That's the type of club that... Oh, fuck me. Oh.
Spilt
a beer everywhere.
Quickly, look it up.
Brief intermission.
Look it up.
I'll just get a shirt or something.
If you won't. No, hang on. That's one way to partially clean a table. What I was going to say while Das is doing this quick intermission, I did see the 100K bonus, but something that there is a clause in his contract that if he wins the grand final, he will then be bumped up in his contract to $1 million player, which is absolutely insane. Now, does Mitch deserve it? I'm not going to say he doesn't, but I was having this discussion at work today with some people, and we were saying, shouldn't you be wanting to win the grand final regardless of money? Like, if as a club, if I'm putting a clause in there, hey, if you win the grand final, you'll be $1 million player. I'm sort of annoyed that I've got to put that in there as extra motivation because my players should be motivated enough to want to fucking
just
win the competition.
Pulling on the jersey should be enough.
Exactly. Pulling on the blue and gold with a hideous moray eel head
should be enough, Mitch.
Should be enough.
Selfish Mitch.
The memory of Peter Sterling in that jersey should be enough to inspire absolute greatness.
Clearly not.
Or Eric Growth Jr. Yeah. Two absolute
Fooey,
stalwarts.
Fooey, moi, moi.
Fooey, moi, moi.
The list goes on.
Nathan Hindmarsh. He didn't even win one. Do you want to be a Nathan Hindmarsh?
Eric Grove.
Eric Grove.
Nathan Hindmarsh should be the absolutely perfect inspiration. He didn't win one.
He didn't win one. You don't want to be Nathan Hindmarsh.
Do better, Mitch.
He's the fucking laughing stock of Fox Sports.
Why does it take $1 million?
Exactly. It should just take Nathan Hindmarsh's 300-plus career. Like, just...
Anyway.
Grow up, Mitchell, is basically what I'm saying, and win it for not the money, but to not be Nathan Hindmarsh. I love Hindy, though. Great guy.
Love Hindy. Shout out to Hindy.
I have a soft spot for Hindy. Shame he never won a premiership. But
unlike
anyway,
others sitting on the panel.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll cover that off later on Friday.
1, 2, 3. Next game.
Saturday game.
Sharks, Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs just came out and pounded.
Always going to happen.
Yeah.
Rabbits are hot, man.
Rabbits are so hot. Rabbits are very hot. Latrell Mitchell, throbbing hot.
If the Penrith are on the wrong side of the draw.
Yeah, I agree.
Like they're going to have the toughest run in compared to the Cowboys.
The thing, and like, whoever wins that game, I don't think you're in an advantage. Whoever wins out of Rabbitohs and Penrith, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath of a game.
Yeah, I was going to get to it. I'll get to my bet now. It's $16.50.
Yeah, okay. Talk me through it.
It is Cowboys to win 13 plus.
Yeah, right.
Up in Townsville, week off. Eels just crumble under pressure, I think.
Yep.
Cowboys
Fair
get it done,
assumption.
13 plus.
Yep.
My next one is Souths 1 to 12. I think that Souths have an upset in them, obviously, but they will just like build and build and build and build and grind pressure.
Yep.
And I think they're going to win 1 to 12.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that if the Panthers don't lead early, they'll shit the bed under pressure, and South will be happy for this game to be like 6-4.
If Penrith go and do what everyone, like myself included, has said, they've got their halves coming back, but now they have a week off and they haven't had that much footy, and they come up against a red hot either Souths or Roosters team, and Souths are there now. Yeah. Shit could go really pear-shaped for them.
Yeah.
You got Cody Walker's playing awesome. Latrell is playing out of his skin. Alex Johnston literally just need to give him the ball and he'll probably score.
And then my theory goes one further.
Yeah.
I think that game will be the grand final for that side of the draw. That's their, you know what I mean? That's their peak. They're going to bash each other. There's going to be injuries. They're going to be tired.
I reckon we're of this same
Cowboys
thinking.
are going to smoke Parramatta.
And then they're going to win the premiership against whoever
Comfortable
wins.
Tom.
Yep. Comfortable Tom.
Comfortable Tom.
Literally, that's all I've been thinking about for the last few weeks is that exact scenario. Yeah, it's literally, that's the mathematics I'm thinking of there. Now, okay, we didn't really say much about this. I didn't watch the Sharks game. Unfortunately, to see Nico Hines and co go down, but as we said, Souths are just too red hot at the moment, and watch out. Now, my bet is I've got North Queensland at the line, -2.5. It's fair. They're just going to win. It's a nice little boost up to $1.90. I've got Souths to win, $3.10. Then I've got a bit of a Q Cup
Q Cup.
Q Cup.
Q Cup. Okay.
It's the Devils versus
New territory.
Redcliffe. Redcliffe are the favourites in this one, but it is the final, I believe.
It would be, yeah.
And why I think the North Devils are going to get up, Redcliffe are favourites. They're about to go into their inaugural NRL season, and I just think the occasion's going to get to them.
The better of them.
It's going to get the better of them. They'll be a bit like
Really
UQ on the weekend.
Set the tone for 2023. Up the Devils.
Up the fucking Devils. And then I've also gone with New South Wales Cup. Penrith are in that against the Bulldogs. The Penrith New South Wales Cup side, at least 3/4 of that team could be playing NRL.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, they're just ridiculously good. So
You got depth.
Yeah. And also, they're probably going to want to go out and sink Gus Gould.
Yep.
Or Gus Gould's new club, where he's trying to do the same thing that he did there. And they're like, no, like, you shouldn't have left. This is why we're here. And my last part of that bet is I think Geelong are going to cover the line, but they'll cover it very easily.
Yep.
I feel like Sydney played their grand final. They only beat Collingwood by a point at home. That would have taken everything out of them.
Yep.
Geelong humped the absolute shit out of our Brizzy Lions, unfortunately. So when you combine all those, you're going to get odds of $33.30.
Not bad.
Now, there's a lot of threes there. I don't know. It doesn't mean nothing.
Oh, it doesn't mean nothing.
No.
It might mean something.
Yeah, it might. So
Definitely doesn't mean nothing.
No, exactly. But yeah, that's my bet for the week.
I like it. We must touch on, before we move on, the Brisbane Lions going down. Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Just
gallant effort for the
gallant
season.
effort, yeah. And as a lot of people said, like, there's a very good chance they played their grand final the week before.
Yep.
And they were looking pretty good for a little bit, from what I heard.
I watched it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then I think Geelong just
ran away with it.
Geelong's just too good.
Too good. Just too good.
Just too good. Also, unfortunate with Lachie Neale last night. Missing
the
out.
Brownlow by one. Absolute G up.
One of the boys on site today, Sammy St. John, shout out to him, said that he saw the live bet for Cripps go out to $12. Jumped on that straight away with a handsome amount, and it saluted.
One of the boys at my work had a dirty futures bet on Lachie Neale, and the live odds for Lachie Neale got into $1.20.
Yeah.
And he got rolled by one vote.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And apparently Cripps should have been suspended in the last round, which really rubs salt in the wounds. Which, if Carlton makes the finals, does he get suspended and Lachie Neale is our dual Brownlow medalist?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I've got no idea how it works. Nah, sorry.
Yeah, anyway, that's AFL.
All right, we touched on it briefly earlier, but the absolute legends at the Lad Collective are back on board as sponsors of this week's podcast.
It's great to be back. It's great to have the boys back. They are producing the best sheets in the country.
They are silky bloody smooth, aren't they, Josh?
Producing the best sheets in the world. They are silky smooth.
We thought we better put our money where our mouth is because we've talked about these guys before and how good they are and how easy it is to set up their sheets. So we thought, fuck it. Let's record in a bed at the Caxton.
Exactly. We basically live here as it is anyway.
If you're not watching the YouTube, we're basically like Charlie.
We're in bed.
We're Charlie and Grandpa Jack from Willy Wonka.
And you know what?
We're not fucking leaving.
There's no fucking way I'm leaving.
And you know, it sounds like a pain in the ass to set up a bed in the Caxton, but not when the corners are fucking labelled, Josh.
Exactly. It took less than 30 seconds to
make
set this bed up, which
to
is
make the bed. And have a look at it. How good does it look? Pillowcases, sheet, top sheet with a label in the middle so you don't get it around the wrong way.
Yes, if you're looking on YouTube right now, my foot is holding up the Lad Collective label on the sheet.
There's top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, tags on the corners. It's simple. You literally can't go wrong.
Now, Darcy, if you don't want to be wrong and people want to join us,
all they have to do,
Josh?
Josh, all they have to do is go to theladcollective.com and use our code BEERS20, which will get you $20 off and free shipping from your first order.
That's fucking incredible.
Get behind the boys. They're a bunch of young Brizzy boys supporting us. So let's support them.
Just blokes supporting blokes.
And we want you to get your sheet together.
Get your sheet together.
I don't know how many times we have to say it.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Theladcollective.com.
Yeah, that is AFL. Grand final this weekend should be a cracker, but I just think Geelong's going to get up.
We've gone from NRL fans to AFL fans. Now we're Cowboys fans.
Something we're not a fan of, though.
What's that, Josh?
The refereeing.
In the
international rugby. Now, I'm in a fair few group chats because we just make up a lot of them in our friend group. I'm assuming a lot of other people do. I'm in one with Roz, Buck, and Hurdy. And the game was going on the other night. I was wrecked after work, having a feed with Caitlin. Didn't watch the game. We were watching something else. And then went up to bed. And I was like, I've given up on watching because the referees in international rugby ruined the game. Like, it doesn't matter how far in it is. There's just something always happens. That the only thing we talk about after rugby union
is the officiating.
Which
is fucked.
It's never how good the game was. It's never this play was awesome, this was awesome. Everything is overshadowed and overpowered by the refereeing and the officiating within the game and the interpretation of the rules, which is ridiculous because, look, this isn't harsh. This is the truth. The game is not about the referee. The referee is there to officiate and let the game actually happen so that people aren't just boxing on and
you shouldn't
having
remember,
a he said, she said, you know?
Like 6 weeks after the game, you shouldn't remember who the referee was for that game.
No, exactly.
Like, obviously going to know on the night.
6 years we're not going to remember, or we shouldn't. But
we will.
We will remember.
We will not forget.
It's the first time this has ever been called. Now, whether it was the right call or not, in this situation, it's just ridiculous. So, if anyone's been living under a rock, which, well, to be fair, it's probably not out there because we know that Australian rugby doesn't promote shit.
Yeah.
The call was we had a penalty with like a minute and a half to go. We're up by 3 points. We clear the ball. We get the line out. We do pick and drives. We win. Kick it out. Awesome. Most likely win the rugby championship. We go to New Zealand
Chance
this
to win the
week
Bledisloe.
and we win the fucking Bledisloe for the first time in 20-something years.
22, I think.
22. That's it. So, look, that doesn't happen.
Fair bit on the line.
Fair bit on the line. Now, whether Bernard should have kicked it quicker, he probably should have, in all honesty, but the forwards were having their meeting before that, and the boys are all pretty chill. Time was called off, so how can you be wasting time when time is off?
I don't know.
You can't.
Okay.
Because time does not exist if time is off.
And yeah,
we've learned that from fucking the Marvel Universe with Doctor Strange.
If time is off, time does not exist.
Yeah, exactly. Time does not exist.
You got to fix that metal up. It's driving me nuts.
No, that was my boots then.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I moved my feet a lot, like I did on Friday night.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we will get to that later. But
time doesn't exist.
Time does not exist. Okay. Old mate goes, and as Bernard Foley is kicking the ball, blows his whistle. Now, there's footage that's come out in the last day or two of Nick White going up to the referee, and he just goes, "You've literally just cost us the rugby championship."
Read the room.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's like,
literally.
no, you have to listen to me. It's if Bernard Foley was going for a penalty goal, he would have had 60 seconds at least. No one ever blows a penalty or does what he did on a penalty goal. They get all the time in the world to fucking kick a penalty goal because it's a crucial game deciding thing. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
And now this bloke has decided that Bernard's taken too long. Let's make this decision. Then gives them penalty advantage for whatever.
As soon as that arm went up, the game's
As soon as that
over.
arm went up, it's like, it's going to be a draw at least.
Yeah, I thought we're only up by 2.
We're up by 3.
Yeah, well,
so it was like, it's going to be a draw.
Which means
or they'll probably
right?
score in the corner.
Yeah, whatever.
There we go. And yeah, now because it's only 2 games, if it's a draw, they retain it. Now,
well, we could have won the second one. But
I copped so much shit from Hurdy for not watching the game because my reason was I'm sick of the officiating and that's all we talk about. It ruins the spectacle. And he's like, you should be supporting it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, the officiating always ruins it. They're like, oh, no, the officiating's been good tonight. So I started watching it and I was enjoying it so much.
Point proven, bro.
And then boom. And I was like, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
My point has been proven in the biggest way. I'm like,
what more do you want?
I was literally speechless. Caitlin's there in bed and she's like, what happened? I was like, I literally can't explain. She's like, no. I was like, no, like.
I don't want to.
I can't, no, like, I could not explain what had just happened.
Because you're in a fit of rage or you just didn't know?
I was like, what has just happened? I was
yeah.
like, I couldn't explain to myself, couldn't explain to her. She thought I was just taking the piss. I was like, no, like I'm being genuinely serious. I don't know how to explain what just happened. That is the most fucked thing I have seen.
Ever.
That
might be the most fucked call I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Can you
First
think of
time
another
ever.
I can't think of anything worse
The
than that.
only thing that rivals it, but it's not even a comparison, is the Raiders-Roosters final.
Yeah, when he
with
blew
the
six again.
six
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yep.
Nowhere near as bad.
Nowhere near as bad.
Bad, but nowhere near as bad.
But old mate Frenchie, there's been a lot of funny comments come out of it. The most common one is, this is payback for not buying the subs.
Yeah, which is a fair
Which
statement.
is fair. And if that was his intention, you know what? Well,
Job done. Well done.
job done. You've made us fucking loud
Suffer.
and clear. Yeah.
We are suffering.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on it,
No.
but yeah.
Do you reckon that's why club rugby in, I don't know about other states, but in Brisbane is flourishing because they don't have TMOs and shit like that?
Yes, mate.
So they just have to make a
100%.
call on the spot.
And all you have to do is have a look at the results from every grade on the weekend in club
but also have a look at the
rugby.
crowd and the attendance and
Yep.
like,
Suncorp was heaving yesterday. There was heaps of people down here. Like all the scenes at West. Well, I'll get into it now. Shout out to West for beating Uni yesterday.
Yep.
And what was an awesome match. It was so tight, 3/4 of the way through, and then West just ran away with it. And it was an intercept try to Benny Navo, one of the Fiji cripples. He's club captain down at West.
how good?
It was great to see West win. First time in 16 years. I think the last one was 2006 when they had former Wallaby John Rowe playing number 8 for them. Fun fact, I ran on the field for some reason that day with a few of
16
the
years
Jeeps
ago?
juniors. Yeah, I was at the game when they last won. And John Rowe took off his socks and gave them to Harry Dellavedova. And we were all so stoked that he got these socks. And in
would've
hindsight,
stunk.
like, geez, they would have stunk. Probably like me right now. But
Oh.
it was awesome to see the doggies get up. It's well documented
just
that I'm
awesome
not
to
the
see.
biggest fan of UQ, but
Awesome to see club rugby at its best.
yeah, literally. So the entire weekend, I can't remember Colts results, but so we won by 8 points, tight game.
Very tight.
5th grade was a 1-point win to East.
Yeah.
4th grade was a 2-point win to East. 3rd grade was a 1-point win to East. Brothers was a 1-point. 2nd grade was a 1-point win to Brothers, and then you had that game. Like,
What about the Chicks?
Chicks was I can't remember, but Bond got up over East,
Yeah.
and then the only shit thing was Colts won.
Yes.
Joint premiers in
Yeah,
the
that's
Premier
no
Colts competition.
That's no good.
Is ridiculous.
No extra time.
No extra time,
That's
but
so
the main game
fucked.
didn't start for half an hour.
I can understand no extra time in the regular season, but the grand final.
The grand final.
Like,
hey,
oh,
congratulations, boys. Split it.
Nah.
Oh, you boys both did such a great job.
Who takes the trophy back to the club house?
Exactly. You guys have it Monday, Tuesday. We'll have it Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have a bonding session on the Friday. And then Saturday, it's whoever
Still
bonded
standing.
the best. Yep.
That
Winner
should be
takes
how
it,
they
yeah.
that should be how they crown the champion. Whoever can bend the longest
Yeah.
gets to keep the cup.
Jeez, East would win that in spades, bro. East would win that in spades.
Reckon they're still going at East?
I've seen they're still going to East.
It's Monday.
It's Monday. They're definitely still going to East.
Yeah, right.
But
Credit to them.
yeah, it was really good. Like, there's a couple of boys I used to play with that were playing for West, and it was awesome to see them get the win. Former Jeeps coach Elwee, love him or hate him, he's done a really good job getting the West boys together and a really good team together there. And then, look, it's well documented that I don't like uni, but reports from one of the Jeeps boys, Acco, the Channel 9 reporter.
Yep.
I don't know if he's the first to break it, but there's been some news going around about Hino. Mick Heenan, he's the premier coach of UQ, has led them since 2009 to 6. I believe it's 6 premier grade premierships.
That's so good.
Which is insane.
Just 2009.
Yeah.
So what's that?
It's 13 years,
Six
6
of them.
premierships. So he
Fuck.
basically wins one
He's got
every
a-
2 years.
Yeah, he's got a better than a 50% hit rate.
Yeah,
which is
pretty
ludicrous.
much, man. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
He was a Jeeps coach before that. He's a Marist old boy as well.
Upper.
Upper. But I believe that was his last game for UQ, and he's taken a coaching role at the Reds for next season.
Yeah, well, deservedly so. by
Yeah,
the sounds of
man.
it.
I thought he would have got it years ago, and whether he's been turning it down for years, who knows? But he, from all reports, and he just seems like a great bloke, man. Like it's a shame for him in his last game for UQ that he's gone out losing. But fuck, he'll probably come back in like 10 years' time and absolutely hump the competition again with a new breed of
Hopefully the Reds go well next year.
UQ. Yeah, it'd be good if he could instill whatever he's done there into the Reds and a bit of ticker gets shown or more ticker because they're doing all right. But yeah.
Is there anything else we want to cover off this week for the sports pod?
2 things.
Sure.
Cam Smith, LIV.
Oh. You know what's crazy?
Second game of LIV and he wins $6 million.
You know what's crazy? Someone today was like, oh, yeah, he won $6 million for playing a game of golf. And I was like, bruh, didn't he just get like 150 mil for signing? Like $6 mil's nothing to him.
140 mil signing and then you get all the winnings on top of that.
Like that's nothing to him.
He's just playing for fun.
100%.
And winning $6 million for playing for fun.
Like imagine, well, I suppose it would still be good. I was going to say, imagine if you were earning 150 mil a year or K a year. Yeah. And then you got a 6K bonus. Like it's like, yeah, that's awesome, but it's not like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas 6K to you and I would be like, holy shit.
Holy shit.
This is fucking crazy.
My life just changed.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Yeah.
He just doesn't care.
But yeah, that was pretty crazy. It's going to be interesting to see how that all pans out.
Yeah.
To be honest, like how the PGA
rich oil merchants.
Yeah. If the PGA responds, LIV probably won't be a thing in 2-3 years' time. But there's also, as you said, rich oil merchants.
Your move, PGA.
It's like, get more money than us.
We might be having a hit of golf this week, won't we?
Yeah, it sounds like it. I forgot that I agreed to that, but I'm keen still.
Yeah.
Caitlin was like, are you playing golf Thursday? I was like, I don't know, am I? But we'll get into that. Last thing, it is very sport related. We'll probably give it a shout out on Friday as well, but a shout out to our good mates Tom and Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
Who successfully completed the marathon on Sunday.
Yeah. Very gallant effort.
For
Tom said on Wednesday that he hadn't run more than 5K.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
And he pumped out 42.
Ridiculous.
That is fucked.
So that is absolutely ridiculous. That's something that I have said this to multiple people before. If I ever say I'm running a marathon, knock me the fuck out and make sure I don't remember I ever said that. Because I never want to do that.
Sounds like torture.
Sounds like torture. Running's not fun.
I kind of do want to do one, but no, anytime soon.
You're a fucking weird fuck. And so is everyone that runs marathons. Just be ordinary.
Just the runner's high, man.
And with that, we're fucking off.
See ya. See you Friday.